Content warning, rape or mention of rape, sexual harassment, suicide or suicidal thoughts, or mention of suicide, depression, panic or anxiety attack, and more. You have been warned. If you're uncomfortable with this, please stop reading or listening. You can choose other stories for a while. There are other great or extremely great writers out there. Disclaimer: I do not own the haiku characters that are to be used in this story. Photos or covers were picked from Google. Credits to the owner.
Days pass, and Shoyo was quite improving with his therapy session. He still does not play volleyball, but I can see in his eyes that he misses playing. There are times that I tried to coax him to play with me, but he finds ways to reject it. Kageyama was writing something in his volleyball journal. "What's that?" asked Tadashi curiously. The king got startled and started blushing since Tadashi's face was quite close to him. Just some notes. But it's some schools here in our prefecture," Tadashi said. I started to listen to their conversation. Yeah, I'm just crossing out those schools where we had a practice match. Kageyama replied. "Why?" Tadashi asked. "Well, almost a year ago, I met a certain spiker that caught my attention. Even though he's an Omega, he's quite reckless, but his athleticism is astonishing. Unfortunately, we crushed their team. He just challenged me back then that he would defeat me and stand on the court the longest." The king answered. Tadashi hummed as he said, That is quite interesting. Yeah, but since we almost played all the high schools that have a volleyball club, I didn't see him. So maybe he moved to another prefecture." The king said. "I never thought the king would take a liking to something or someone aside from volleyball to the point you have to make a list to monitor," I said as I butt in. They both got startled. "What the F beanpole? Are you eavesdropping?" said Kageyama angrily. "I can't avoid listening to your conversation. That was enough to be heard by the whole gym," I said, unfazed. "Suki," Tadashi said. "Whatever. And why do you care if I want to monitor someone? If you have just seen him, definitely you will also be magnetized by him." Kageyama said confidently. "I doubt it," I said. "Do you mind describing him?" Tadashi asked. And the king starts to describe the person. "He's small." He starts gesturing the height. "But he can jump high." "Wow, what a wonderful description," I said, cutting him out. "I'm not done yet," he almost shouted. Tadashi smacks me on the head. "Ouch, what was that for?" I said angrily. "Shut it," he said as he gestured to Kageyama. "Continue." "I'm bad at describing facial features, but he has orange hair, brown eyes, and is very pretty." The king continues. I and Tadashi secretly glance at each other, and we already know we have the same person in thought, Shoyo. "You're bad at describing facial features, but you know he is very pretty," I said, raising my eyebrow. "Why? What would you expect me to say? Omegas do have a beautiful feature," he said defensively. "How did you know he's an Omega, by the way?" Tadashi asked. "His scent. It's more likely a flowery scent with a hint of citrus, which is mild and comforting," the king described. I and Tadashi exchanged glance with knowing looks. As I thought, definitely, Shoyo. "Which school have you been playing back then?" I asked. "I forgot," he said. "Wow. Just wow. You know what? I just wasted my time thinking to help you, but never mind," I said. "No one asks for your help," the king mumbled, but I was able to hear it. After our practice for the day, we gathered for the announcement. We were invited to a training camp to be held in Tokyo. Takeda-sensei started. Everyone was surprised. It was evident on their faces that they were excited. "Sensei, how long will the training camp be?" I asked. 1 to 2 weeks, max," he answered. I start to contemplate what I will do, while everyone starts to chatter because of excitement. "Settle down, everyone." Sensei was not yet finished. Ukai-san said, catching our attention. "I know you are excited and all, but you do know it's almost exam week, right?" Takeda-sensei said. Silence enveloped the gym, and it means you need to pass the exam so you can participate in the training camp. He added, I saw how the three idiots, the king, Tanaka-san, and Noya-san averted their gaze. I watched as the chaos started. Tanaka-san and Noya-san start to run. Oi, where the heck are you going? Enoshita, Daichi-san shouted. Hi, Enoshita-san answered as he blocked the two from running. The king stops breathing, which is why Tadashi starts to panic. Kageyama is not breathing. He shouted and shook Kageyama, Kageyama, breathe. While the chaos continues, I start to think. How will I tell Shoyo about this? I'll be away from him for 2 weeks max. What if I just quit the team instead? That's when the booming voice of Daichi-san echoed in the gym, everyone, calm down. We can't go anywhere if we leave these three idiots behind. We will make some study sessions to help with reviewing your lessons and to focus more on your studies. We will cancel our practice starting tomorrow until you're done with your exams. Dismissed, Ukai-san said as we started to disperse. After we change our gym clothes, Tadashi and I started to walk home when Tsukishima, the king called me. I looks behind and hummed. He bows at a 90 degrees angle and says, help me study. And mumbled the word, please. Tadashi is about to answer, but I cut him out as I glared, no. Why not? Tadashi asked. No is a no, Tadashi. I said with an authoritative tone. That was the first time I heard Tsukishima call Yamaguchi by his first name. I've heard they are childhood friends, but they usually address each other by their last name. I'm not jealous. 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 What the heck, Tobio? I thought. I was cut from my thoughts by their argument. I mean, why not? We always have a study session. It won't be a pain to add another person to the circle, right? This will be a perfect opportunity for him to meet other people aside from us. Tadashi said, giving his piece of argument. I thought. He can't. Not yet. Tsukishima said, you can hear in his tone his protectiveness. Tsuki, you're being overprotective of him, Tadashi said. I'm not. It's just. Do we just need to give him a heads up first, you know? And it's a short amount of time to make some adjustments. I know it's part of the treatment, but at least we can soften the stress a little bit. He explained. I'll ask him then, Yamaguchi said as he took out his phone. Tsukishima just sighed. Anyo, I hope you know I'm still here. I said, letting them know I'm still around. Oh, yeah, ha ha ha, yes, we can help you study. Tadashi said, smiling. Tadashi, Tsukishima interjects. But I just need to ask our other friend if you can also join our group study so it won't be a waste of energy. If you can't, we can help you during our free time at school. Tadashi explained to me. Oh, okay, I said as I thought to myself, I'm quite curious about this friend of theirs. Tsukishima's aura and alpha instincts were heightened. Yamaguchi starts talking on his phone when someone answers it. Hello, Sho. Yes, we're on our way home. I just want to ask if can we. Not we, just you. Tsukishima corrected. Yamaguchi rolled his eyes as he continued to talk. If I can join another one with our group study. Sho, okay. He hands the phone to Tsukishima and said, he wants to talk to you. Tsukishima takes the phone and walks a little far from us. Who's that? I asked. Oh, it is our other childhood friend and Kei's mate, Yamaguchi replied. Oh, I said. No wonder the beanpole was overprotective, I thought. Do you usually have a group study? I asked again. But more likely a friend bonding. Every Wednesday and weekend. But most likely, Kei spends his weekends with him. He said, smiling. I nod in response. If he agrees, you'll come with us tonight, Yamaguchi said. I was confused for a while and then realized, oh, it's Wednesday. Tsukishima came back and hands the phone to Yamaguchi. So, he agreed, but not today. Tobio will join our group study on Friday. He said. I was shocked since the beanpole called me by my first name, too. Tobio. I stuttered. Yes, Tobio. That's your name, right? I was totally confused but nod. Don't get confused. We usually used our first name, especially if Sho was around. Yamaguchi said. It's for the sake of group study, King. Don't get used to it. Beanpole said. Fine, thanks. I'll go ahead, I said as I walked away. How did he agree? Tadashi asked. I think he's in a good mood. He just asked if it was okay for me. I said, so you said it's okay? Tadashi asked expectantly. I contemplated if I should agree in all honesty or not. I nod eventually. Tadashi gave me a knowing look. You didn't tell him Kageyama's name? Nope, I just told him it was one of our teammates who struggles too much with academics. I replied, okay, Tadashi said as if I made a wrong decision. Since the after-class practice was cancelled due to exams, we straight ahead to the Hinata manor with Kageyama this time. Why are we here? This is one of the mansions that the Hinata family possessed. Cage. Nope. I mean, Tobio said with wide eyes. Yes, it is. Come in, I said. What? He exclaimed. Tadashi chuckled and explained, our other childhood friend and Kei's mate is the only child of the Hinata. Hinata Shoyo. Tobio was too stunned to speak. But his mind wondered, Shoyo. I think I've heard it before, during some conversation between my parents. Also, I think I've seen that name in one of the patient's files that my father has. The head maid opens the door for us. Kei-sama, Tadashi-sama. Welcome home, the head maid said. Hi, auntie, I smiled. Where's? He's already in the study hall waiting for you. She cut me out as she looked at Tobio. I think you're the +1 for the group study. Yes, auntie, Tadashi said enthusiastically. Tobio bows as he said, Kageyama Tobio is my name. Nice to meet you, Kageyama, she asked. Yes, the second son of Dr. Kageyama Reiki, I said. Oh, nice to meet you too, Tobio-sama. The head maid greeted Tobio. We will go ahead, auntie, Tadashi said. Sure, I'll bring some snacks later. She said, don't bother auntie, we will be the ones to get our snacks later instead. Just rest for a bit, I said as we walked inside the manor. We walk inside the manor, heading to the study hall. Now, I am getting curious and worried. My father is a psychiatrist and usually holds some special or severe cases. How did you know my father? I asked. Long story. Don't think about it or try to look for it, especially if we are here. Tadashi answered with a serious expression. We're here, Kei said as if for caution. He knocks on the door 3 times and said as he opened the door, babe. The person inside the room looked in our direction. Hey, Kei. Come in. That voice was quite familiar. As Tsukishima opens the door, I saw an orange-haired boy sitting on a couch. When his red eyes met mine. Don't you say, but his not red eyes. I was surprised as I thought. You. He was surprised and exclaimed as he pointed at me. What are you doing here? I cleared my throat as I stuttered. To study. Alpha. He whines. You are the only one who can say to Shoyo that Tobio is marked as safe, Kei said. Coffee. He exclaimed, calling someone's attention. Coffee. But his looking at Yamaguchi. As I thought, I looked at Tadashi, and he was just looking at some books trying to mind his own business. Tsukishima starts to introduce me to the orange-haired boy. This is Kageyama Tobio. I think you've already met him before, not face to face like this, though. And he looked at me. This is Eleanor, Hinata Shoyo's Omega. She'll be the one to assess first if you are safe to meet by Sho himself. Oh, that's why he has red eyes now. Why are there a lot of checkpoints in here? I asked. Kei was surprised since I noticed it. How? You. From the start? No. You just thoroughly assessed me when I described this tangerine last time. I said. Hey, I'm not a tangerine, Eleanor exclaimed. I rolled my eyes as I continued, followed by Yama. Tadashi. Then the head maid, now his Omega. It's creeping me out. Correction. It's not creeping. You're starting to get worried. She said. I glared at her, and she flinched. Kei started to growl at me as a warning, and I started to behave. It's fine, Alpha. He's safe for me, but I'm not sure if Sho will take it positively. She said, giving a concerned look. Okay, Omega, you can switch now, Kei said. Eleanor closes her eyes and opens them, revealing the brown eyes I've seen before, but instead of happy shining eyes, it was mortified but eventually turned into blank ones. Hey, Shoyo whispered. Hey, I said. He looked at Kay and said, "You did not tell me it is him." Sorry. Kay apologizes. What? Tadashi exclaimed. I forgot to tell him who it is, Kay explained. Shoyo exhales and clears his throat. It's fine. Let's just start the study session. We sit and start the review. I keep staring at Hinata. I've noticed the sets of lessons and books that Hinata has. He is also enrolled in Karasuno High School. That is why I didn't see him in the other school. But I didn't see him on campus. I thought, I have lots of questions that I want to have an answer.
To be continued. If you like this video, consider subscribing by clicking the subscribe button. Bye!